What is up, everybody? It's me, Scott, from TheScottSpot, and once again I've brought along
Corey,
my lovely boyfriend. So we did hit 500 plus subscribers pretty quickly after I made that video. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and watching. I hope you guys continue to enjoy the channel as we move forward. So I think right now we're at 519, which is just incredible. That's like 100 more than I had a week ago. So thank you once again. And like I said, we're going to do a Q&A video to celebrate. And I've got a pretty healthy amount of questions that you guys put in. And like I promised, Corey's here as well to help me out. Yeah, some of you guys asked him questions, so we'll see what we'll get to those.
we got a Mario hat to draw out of.
Yeah, we cut up questions and put them in that Mario hat. That was like a Club Nintendo reward one year or something. So will you do the honors, babe?
First question. Oh boy. All right. This one's definitely for you. It's, have you thought about streaming on Twitch?
I have thought about streaming on Twitch, and I wish I could, but I don't really see a viable way to do that. My laptop is too slow to stream the video game consoles straight to it and run effectively. And along the same lines, I don't really play PC games, and even if there was one that I wanted to stream to you guys, I couldn't because I don't really have the hardware to do it. I'd love to. Maybe we can get that to work out somehow one day, but as for right now, it's not in the cards. Sorry.
Keep subscribing and you will. Alright. You want to do the next one?
Yes. Give me
Go
one.
ahead.
Alright. Alright, this one is for both of us.
Oh boy.
What is your biggest pet peeve, gaming or otherwise?
Ooh.
Do you want to go first? Or you want me to answer?
Well, I know my biggest pet peeve in a game.
Okay.
It's the damn trampolines in Mario.
That's your
Yes.
one biggest pet
Yes,
peeve.
that is the biggest one, is trampolines.
I'm going to make sure the next level just has trampolines
It's all
everywhere.
trampolines.
There was that one comment on the video that said that they demanded more trampolines. So,
And the one said he was going to make a level of all trampolines. No, won't play it.
what about anything else otherwise?
People who chew their gum with their mouth open.
Weren't you just doing that a minute ago?
No, I chewed with my mouth closed.
Okay.
I didn't make that obnoxious sound.
Yeah. Geez, I don't know what my biggest pet peeves would be. I think being ignored in general. Like when you're trying to say something, if someone keeps talking over you or they just totally ignore what you say, that really grinds my gears. Gaming.
That's my gears.
Gaming, I would say that, geez, that one's hard too. I'd say padding a game with side quests that aren't fun at all, that really annoys me. Like, I used to be a perfectionist where I would want to make sure I got 100% in every video game I played, but I don't do it in like half of them anymore just because of how stupid a lot of the stuff you have to do for that is.
He just does it with me.
Yeah, I make him see everything though. Okay.
Next.
Next.
Are you guys Pokemon fans?
I think that he might have a similar answer to me on this one. We were both, well, I'm just going to speak for myself, but when I was a kid, I was really into Pokemon, like elementary school age. But then again, I think back then there were more kids who were, or at least boys, that were into Pokemon that weren't. I played the original Game Boy games, Red, Blue, Yellow, and never really followed it past that. I watched the anime a little bit into the Gold and Silver series, and I'm not saying they're bad games, but it's just a little too samey and formulaic for me, where you got to defeat the 8 gym leaders and win Pokemon League and catch all the new Pokemon, which most of the new ones are pretty stupid in comparison to the originals. You got anything to add?
I'm a fan of the original 150. When I was younger, I had Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, watched the anime series, collected all the cards. The first 3 sets, had all of those, but I'm not a fan of the later ones. Only the younger ones.
I think it's a pretty common...
Younger. I meant first ones.
Gotcha, yeah. Older, younger.
I caught myself.
You know what he means.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty common among Pokemon, or
Especially
people
our age.
Yeah, people our age. Okay, what are your most anticipated games that you want to play that have not come out yet for you as a couple? For me, I think I'm excited about, well, semi-excited for Final Fantasy 15. But I still have some pretty deep reservations about that game because they are changing it so much from how the other Final Fantasies are. I know whenever they finally come out with Zelda Wii U as a couple, that we'll be playing that shit for sure.
Yes.
What about you, babe? I know you don't follow game news as closely as me, but
No, I don't.
is there anything that you know is coming out that you're looking forward to?
I'm so out of the loop. I don't know anything coming out.
Remember, I'm just now getting him to be a gamer. He took to it pretty well, though.
Apart from Final Fantasy X2 and 13.2, do you have any future LP plans?
Obviously, yes. Like I said, those are the immediate what I have in mind as far as my current series. Once I finish 10, I'll do 13.2, and once I finish that, I'll do 10.2, and then Lightning Returns. But after Donkey Kong Country Returns ends, I do want to do a game called Parasite Eve. He's actually played through that one with me. It's one of my favorite games. It's like
one of our first games we did.
Yeah, one of the first games we played together too. I was trying to sort of break them into RPGs. It's an RPG that takes place in New York City. Stars a female character. It's got like a very sci-fi plot. It's very hard to describe, but once you start playing it, you'll see what I mean. Or once you start watching my videos, hopefully. Other than that, I want to do Ace Attorney at some point, since y'all seem to love when I do voiceovers for characters. Other than that, I think we're going to start doing some more content together. And that's all I know for sure at this point. And we'll talk about that more here in a little bit, because I know there's some questions about including him more. Next question. Okay, this one's a bit of a doozy. Maybe share a little about your coming out process if you feel like sharing. For me, I could make probably like a 15-minute video about this if I wanted to, if not longer. So considering we have all these other questions to get to, I'm going to be brief. It's a relatively recent thing for me. I just figured out last fall that I was bisexual and started dating him in February, which is right around the same time that I came out to most of my friends, other than like a select couple. The only thing that I would want to give advice on right offhand is don't come out if you are in a situation where you're dependent on somebody, like your parents or whatever, it would put you in danger. Otherwise, it's one of the most freeing things in the world that you can do. I know that I've been much happier since I came to that realization and did come out to everybody. Other than that, I think that's all I want to say about that here anyway. You, babe?
That's a deeper one. Well, I've known since I was a teenager, dealt with it my own ways. I never really had trouble with my friends of them knowing, didn't really care except for a select few. But when I got to Knoxville is when I kind of became a little more comfortable in my own skin, and didn't really try to hide it or anything. One thing I would suggest is that coming out such a big deal, and it's already emotionally straining on a person. So the piece of advice is to not make it harder on yourself than you need to, and just tell people when you're comfortable. Don't let anybody push you into it, and don't do it just to be doing it. Just wait until you're comfortable enough and handle it on your own terms.
You should come out when you're ready to not give a fuck what anybody thinks about it, basically. If someone's worth keeping in your life, then you shouldn't have to worry about what their response to it's going to be. So I think that about covers that. I mean, and we'll probably talk about that more at some point down the road, but
that's a whole nother video.
Yeah, really. Okay.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
A little lighter topic. What are your thoughts on Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and are you considering doing a Let's Play of it in the future?
I'll never say never. But if you guys have been watching my Donkey Kong Country Returns Let's Play, I'm not a huge fan of it, to say the least. What I will say, though, is that I have heard that Tropical Freeze is a huge improvement over Returns. I do own Tropical Freeze. I got it as a Club Nintendo reward for free. But I do think I would want to play it first and see what I think before I did a Let's Play this time, rather than going into it blind like I did for Returns. I am looking forward to playing as Cranky and Dixie. Those are my two favorite Kongs. So,
Your turn.
okay. Any plans to include Corey in other series? This has been asked. That was probably the most popular question. There's like 3 or 4 times that was asked. Yes, I am definitely going to include Corey in future series. I don't see Mario Maker going on too long just because it takes so long to make a level. But we are going to start recording when we play our 100 Mario challenges. Which,
Those can be, the Mario Maker levels can just be treats, sporadic things we do.
Yeah, we do.
Because they are fun.
We play 100 Mario challenge a lot on there whenever we just want something light to do or to take up a short amount of time. Other than that, we haven't decided what series or what game we want to cover together. We talked about it a little bit. Generally, how we do things is we have a game that I play and he watches, vice versa, where I watch and he plays, and then we have a game that we do together. So I think once we finish our current together game, we'll play that for you guys and record it and all that stuff. Right now we're playing Smash Bros. Brawl, the Subspace Emissary. I figured that would be a good one to break him into some other Nintendo lore that he probably doesn't know like half the characters in that one. But yeah, so once we finish that, my plan is to start doing a full series with them.
Is it my turn or your turn?
I think it's your turn.
It'll be my turn.
Yeah.
We'll go with this one. What are your top 3 favorite games of all time?
I'll go ahead and answer this because I know that if you guys watch my videos, you probably have an idea of what mine were. I've said before that Final Fantasy X is my all-time favorite. I love that game. It's amazing. I have very little bad to say about it. The story's great. The gameplay's fun. The graphics are, even, especially now it's an HD remaster, they're enjoyable. The characters are extremely memorable. Wind Waker HD, well, it doesn't have to be HD, but definitely the HD version is obviously my favorite. It is my second favorite. That game's beautiful. I love sailing around. The art style is great. I can't think of much else to say right offhand. My third one, which I may not have said in a previous video, would be Final Fantasy VII, which, as you can imagine, I'm very excited about the remake that's going to come out maybe when I'm 29 or something, about to go into my grave.
Oh, I'll be old.
Yeah, the Final Fantasy VII is just amazing. I love it. What about you, babe?
Number 1 would be Ocarina of Time.
Surprise.
Hands down.
Surprise.
Number 2 would be Final Fantasy X. Number 3 would be probably Super Mario 64.
Okay.
Just because it takes me back to childhood. I'm a bit nostalgic.
Yeah, obviously. I love Ocarina of Time as well. He actually had already been all the way through that one before we ever met when he was younger.
Times.
Yeah. I am interested, now that you say that, this is the first time he's told me this, I think. I'm really glad he liked Final Fantasy X, considering we played that one together.
It was like our first game together.
Yeah, I think so. And as far as Super Mario 64 goes, he probably won't like them anymore, but I'm very interested to go through Super Mario Sunshine and Galaxy and all those sequels to see what he thinks about those, because I like all of them. Well, I definitely like Sunshine better, I'll say that.
Then 64?
Mm-hmm.
Eee.
But that's an unpopular opinion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'll see what you think.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. How did you two meet? Well, I was on a hike, and...
Oh, I didn't know that. That's a detail I didn't know.
And I fell, which is very believable to him. I fell now and kind of twisted my ankle. And he helped me, like he just happened to be hiking by at the same time. And he actually took me to the hospital, and he was very comforting through all that. And he asked me out for coffee the next day. Now I'll let him tell the real story.
You're so full of shit. Oh my god, no. We met on Tinder. He messaged me, and I'll try not to be too long, but it was back in January, February, and being in East Tennessee, we don't get a ton of winter weather, but it can hit. Well, there was a 2-week span where we just got nailed with ice storm after ice storm, and then snowstorms and ice storms. So for 2 weeks, I was off work, stuck at home, I'm sure he was probably the same. Going out of my mind, stuck at home, nothing to do, and I get a message from him on Tinder. We ended up staying up till probably 3 that morning talking, and it just went from there. And within a week, he had actually asked me to go to a coffee shop that I'd never heard of. Got coffee one morning before I went to work. It went extremely well, and the rest is history.
It's been
Still going strong.
been romance ever since. I'm not embarrassed of beating on Tinder. I just thought that would be funny.
God, I'm so full of shit. All right.